Hello, and thank you for following me here at The Paranormal Follows Me. I am your host, Anne. I decided to start this page because I've written books and I've written short stories, but there's nothing like telling a story yourself. So if you don't mind, please like and subscribe to my channel so that I can bring more paranormal stories to you. These are my stories, my experiences through the many decades of doing mediumship. I started as a third generation psychic. I used to, I guess I can say, do it for just like friends of friends and friends of family. And then I started doing my own psychic mediumship. I would say that this is something that I used to love to do until it got, I don't know what's going on out here, but it's a lot stronger now. Any psychic medium who does this knows that it's a lot stronger now than it has ever been. And so with that being said, let's do some storytelling. When we moved here in this house, it was not that long after I moved in that I realized something was going on in this house. The lights would turn on by themselves, and it's so weird because I remember getting ready for my nephew's wedding, and as I approached the mirror to put my makeup on, the mirror turned on by itself. It wasn't even plugged in. I turned it off. I went and got a chair and I moved to another mirror. It turns on again. I'm like, I didn't know if it was some type of electrical, so I turned the electrical system on and off just to find out it was most likely an entity. Long story short, I was real good at ignoring energy. I didn't get uptight or wound up about what was going on around me. I pretty much just went with the flow. And with that being said, because I was ignoring them, I think what it did was it started bothering my daughter. Now, she's, at the time she was only like four or five. And we had, I guess we had just did her room, and she was playing in her room, and she would keep running back and forth going, huh? Did you call me? Of course I didn't call her, but I'm like, no, Lonnie, you're hearing things. And of course, that kind of made me feel some kind of way after about the seventh time that she did it, okay? Let's just be real. So she decided that she wanted to come and play in here with mommy, and that was okay with me. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really, I don't know, it just didn't register to me that the energies were now going to her at that time. Because I had been a professional at ignoring them, I did not think that it would start happening to her. Well, she went back to her room a few days later. I guess she got enough nerve to go back in there, and she would come running in here like, mommy, why did you open up my door? And I'm like, look here, I didn't open up your door. What are you talking about? She said, I seen you standing in the hall watching me, mommy. And I'm going, no, that wasn't me. So I remember one day she was in the restroom, and she went in there and she just started screaming, mommy. And I went and ran in there. I'm like, what's wrong? She said, why do you keep calling me, mommy? And if you're noticing, I'm looking at something because I do see something out the side of my eye over here. So, I mean, as I'm doing this, I'm seeing something, okay? So you're going to see me always looking around because something's always catching my eye. And I don't want to pay attention to it, but now it's giving me a lot of play. It wants attention. So we're going to, do what I do best and ignore it. We're going to talk about the story, okay? So back to the story. Long story short, I ran to her rescue, and as I'm in the bathroom with her, she's going, mommy, it's still calling my name. I'm like, I don't hear anything. And she was getting mad at me like, you don't hear it? I don't hear it. And so I started talking to it. and telling it to reveal itself to me because it was bothering her. And I didn't want it to keep doing that. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get this feeling of electricity just like zonks through my body. And I'm feeling chills everywhere. And she's like, Mommy is standing next to you. I said, Sweetie, I know it is. I can feel it. And of course I started doing what I do. I started praying loud in the name of Jesus. And you know what I do. And I didn't feel it anymore. And then I started getting pissed off because she's like, it's still calling my name. So I'm getting really loud and really pissed off because it's okay. Look, Mommy's here now. So I'm getting frustrated because she can see it and I can't. And so she told me that it was standing behind me in like a big dark mass. And it would wear a hoodie. And I'm getting pissed off because it's not showing itself to me. But now I could see it through her eyes, and I'm glad that I had that kind of energy where I could see that. Long story short, this happened for about a few weeks. So I talked to my mom, and I'm telling her what was going on because my mom was a psychic as well. And she's like, well, what is it? And prior to that, my fiance had passed away about a year prior. And so we thought that it could possibly be him because I had pretty much told him he was not welcome here. And he had to cross over. So she thought that maybe he was, you know, protecting himself from me so that I would boot him out, but he was going to her. But when my daughter told me the name of this energy that was bothering her, it blew my mind. She said that it told her that its name was Joe. I did not know a Joe, but I knew Joe. In fact, my late fiance's brother, who had passed 2 years before him, his name was Joseph. But I didn't understand why he would come and bother my daughter. I mean, he really knew nothing about her at all. And so I didn't make that connection, and you know, having that gut instinct that is pretty much always right, I knew it was wrong. Like that, it is not him. And so one day we were in her room, and I had just prayed and blessed my house again. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at sorry, I told you what was going on here. Anyway, I'm looking around and I can hear it's like a heavy set of footsteps walking towards me. And I'm like, oh, hell no. This is not about to happen now. And I'm like, in the name of Jesus, you better step up out of here. And so I'm getting aggressive with my prayer and like, this is not your house. And I felt good because it made my daughter feel good, but it didn't stop nothing. It stopped nothing. So I ended up making her come and stay in the room with me. It didn't stop her from seeing it in my room. She would see the same face in my room. So when I told my mom what was going on, she didn't believe me because I felt that it was her late fiance who had passed prior to my fiance passing. Quiet as it is kept, I probably was not going to marry him. We had been on and off for like 28 years. And he was very sickly, so I most likely was not going to marry him at that time. But upon his, the last month of his, the last year of his life, I told him that I would marry. And I was going to keep my word. I went and got my wedding dress and all that stuff. But I had no idea why he would be using a different name, to scare my daughter. Although he loved her and he babied her, he spoiled her, I don't think he would scare her. And to this day, I wouldn't. So I took all of his things because my mom told me that, she thought that maybe it was him that was, coming to her like he was somebody else, but he wanted her because she could see him, he would disguise himself, and I'm like, that he would never do that. He would never do that. So I took all of his things, all the love letters, all his, his ring, my clothes that he gave me, the clothes that I gave him, everything that I had of his, I took it, I put it in a bag, I put salt in it, and I saged it, and I put it in the trash. And I told him, you gotta go. It stopped for about 3 weeks. And I'm almost done here. This is a short story. What happened is it stopped for about 3 weeks, and we were on our way walking out of the house. And my daughter's like, Mommy, it's calling my name again. Mommy, it's calling my name. And I said, don't get scared. Do not get scared. I said, come here. I said, what did it say? It said, tell Mommy my name is Joey. She said, Mommy, his name is Joey. I said, you said that before. I don't know it, Joey. And she said, huh? And she went to the stairs. She said, Mommy, he's in the attic. He said to come upstairs to the attic. And I'm like, no, we're not going to the attic. I said, you need to leave here, Joey. Who are you? He said, tell Mommy it's me, Joe. I said, Joe. I said, all right, Lonnie, let's go to school. So I went ahead and took her to school. I came home and blessed the house. I called my mom. My mom burst out in tears. She just started crying. She said, why in the hell would it be Joe? I said, Mom, it's your Joe. It's your Joe. I said, I know it's him. I said, because when she said that I could see his face in my head, like I do with all of my readings, I know for a fact that it's your Joe. And my mother yelled at me. She like screamed at me because she did not understand how her fiance, her late fiance, could be haunting my baby. She said, he does not know her. I said, Mama, yes, he did. Joe used to send my baby money for her birthdays. He sent her money just because. He sent her money for the holidays. He sent her gifts. My mother's like, you never told me that. I said, yes, I did. You didn't remember. I said, because you were just adamant as to why he was doing it then, but yes, he did. I said, I still have his stuff here. And she said, pack all that shit up and get rid of it. Sorry for the language. Sorry. She said, pack all his stuff and get it out of here. Get it out of your house. So I did that. And we didn't have any more issues. I did it just like I did all of my late fiance's things. But at the end of the day, that may have stopped it then. But my mother wanted me to be sure that it was her Joe because she was adamant that this could not be him. So at night one day, I had pictures of him from his obituary. And I had pictures of him from what my sister had gave me. I wanted to see if this was going to happen. If she was going to recognize him, rather. And I said, because she had never physically met him. If this is him and she recognizes his picture, I'm going to pretty much just flip. And so what happened later that night, we were getting ready for bed, and my mom called. She said, are you going to do it today? I said, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to find a way to show her these pictures. And if it's him, I don't know what I'm going to do. So later that night, I took my phone out and I started showing her pictures and, of different people. I showed her the picture of Joe, my late fiance's brother, and she didn't know. She's like, I don't know who that is. And she's like, why are we looking at pictures, Mommy? That little kid way. And I'm like, I just want you to see something. So I'm just scrolling through the pictures, and I passed the picture of Joe, and she's like, and she just started screaming. It scared me because she had never met him. And she goes, Mommy, why are you doing this to me? She started panicking and screaming. Why are you showing me him? I said, who is him? She said, Joey. It's Joey. I said, who is Joey? I'm like, there's no way she would have known Joe. There's no way. she would have known him by looking at a picture. I never showed her a picture of him. And so I called my mom immediately. I said, Ma, I showed her a picture of Joe, and she started screaming and crying. My mother started screaming and crying. She's like, no, I gotta come over there. Why the hell is he bothering her? Why is he hunting her? He wants me, not her. He doesn't know her. I said he knew her well enough to send her gifts. He loved her, Ma. That was his only granddaughter, the one that he adopted and took under his wings. From my understanding, my sister had a daughter, but I don't think he sent her gifts and money and cards, etc. I don't know why he took a liking to my daughter, but he did. And unless I don't know the full story if he did to my sister's daughter, but I know what he did to my daughter or for her. And so my mother came over and we both blessed the house. I will say that from that moment to this, we have not had an issue with Joe. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Have a great day. Again, like and subscribe, and we'll bring more stories like this to you real soon.